EFF leader Julius Malema have wrapped up his party's third National People's Assembly taking place in Ekurhuleni. Malema highlighted a number of issues, including service delivery issues. Juliet Joseph is there and joining us now live. Juliet, Malema had some choice words to say, particularly to the Electoral Commission about making registration and voting a civic duty. What did he have to say?
Thank you very much, Thabo. Well, he kicked off his address, of course, addressing voter registration as the key element here, amongst others, as they plan for the local government elections being held this year. Malema did say that he's calling for the IEC to ensure that everybody who turns 18 years must be automatically registered, and that removes the process of people having to queue with their IDs to various areas, but also calling out the members here that were gathered here at Birchwood to make sure that they're all registered to vote. He did say that the party structures should ensure or verify each member that they're registered to vote, especially making an example of as they travel in their buses, they will be checking members of the EFF if they are all registered to vote. And in instances where they are not registered, not kick them out, but make sure that they bring facilities closer for them to be able to vote. But let's take a listen on what he was saying about those turning 18 being able to register automatically and putting out that call to the IEC.
We need to work with the IEC because it is equally the job of the IEC to make sure that they register as many South Africans as possible. So we said in Parliament, we want every child who becomes 18 to be automatically registered as a law in South Africa, because it's your civil duty as a citizen to vote and to vote for a party of your choice. So we cannot just be citizens and we don't play our role as citizens. And that role is to be a registered voter. So it's important that in as much as we demand service from government, we too as citizens must play our role. And that role is to register and vote for a party of your choice. As part of trying to make that a law, we are demanding that the IEC must support that law. The IEC must join in demanding that all South Africans who are above 18 must be automatically registered with the IEC.
Now, Thabo, with that, he also mentioned that they are calling for the removal of the by-elections and saying that there should only be national elections every 5 years. You'd understand that also, notably, the EFF did maintain its presence when we went to the polls in the 2021 local government elections, whereby they were able to secure some areas and also influence some coalitions. So the plan or strategy around the upcoming local government elections was very central, where he also moved to touch on service delivery issues, saying that water as well as electricity should be made affordable, especially to those that are poor or the unfortunate. He also did mention that SASSA, people that are registered with SASSA, should not be able to pay for these services, and service delivery should be improved, making an example with the Alexandra area and saying that where money is being stolen in the form of corruption, they should be able, government should be able to improve infrastructure in those areas. But let's take a listen to what he was saying around that.
Now, indigent policy is not a correct policy. We must do away with it. And we must say, everybody who qualifies for SASSA must not pay for water and electricity. So what do? We don't even have to wait for individuals to come and apply at any municipality. We go to SASSA and say, give us the stats, the names of the people on your database in Polokwane, so that we can remove them on our database of people who pay for water and electricity. Because SASSA means you are poor.
There, Malema was calling for the removal of the flat rate, saying that it disadvantages those that are less fortunate, as you heard. And Thabo, he also touched on other international matters, like with the recent elections in Uganda, President Julius Museveni saying that the EFF wants him gone. He also touched on the Venezuelan president saying that Donald Trump is really bullying most of the countries, calling on Africa as a continent to unite, to avoid the America as a country from taking over South Africa. In his words, he also spoke about the recent Israeli ambassador being, banished from the country, saying that it was a good call and the EFF welcomes it. But what the EFF essentially wants is for the whole embassy in South Africa of Israel to be closed down and also move back to Israel. He also touched on, in a very emotive speech, concluding, Thabo, touching on his trial. You would understand that last week there were members as well as the leadership structures gathered in their numbers outside the East London Magistrates Court, where they were supporting him for the pre-trial sentencing. And he said that should he be sentenced to jail for the term of 12 months or so, he is going to be appealing that, and therefore it will fall away, and he will be able to continue acting as the leader of the party. And if in case he loses the battle and ends up going to jail, he did say that still he would be appealing that and he would not be allowed in Parliament. However, he does remain committed to serving in the EFF party.
All right, Juliet, we appreciate your time. Juliet Joseph for us there in Ekurhuleni, where the EFF has wrapped up its National People's Assembly, the third one, where they are planning, of course, tactics for the local government elections.